Okay, actually, this is pretty important news, and you're going to get it here first. The Canadian dollar and the Canadian real estate bubble is tied in together. They are going to actually raise interest rates in Canada. Now, here's the thing. They're wondering how much the Canadian dollar is going to go up. Now, it's went up to 77 cents quite recently, around 73 cents. It was as low as like under 70 cents. And the strength in the American dollar was what was affecting the Canadian dollar. Now, I've been predicting something, a very unusual situation. I've been predicting for a while now. America's going to go into hyperinflation. We already know this. It's going to have a tremendously profound effect on the entire world and the entire world economy, because the American dollar is the de facto currency of the world reserve currency. But the Canadian dollar could have an equal and opposite profound reaction. This reaction could be actually related to the Canadian real estate bubble bursting and the effects that that would have. It's one of the biggest, it's not the biggest real estate bubble in the world, but it's got the biggest, like, percentage of being pumped up. It's like unbelievable. Houses in around, Toronto or Ontario are absolutely ridiculous. Some of these houses are not worth, $50,000 and they want $2.5 million. It's just absurd, the valuations. And the market has been red hot. People wanting to buy these houses at these terribly low prices. I mean high prices. So the thing is when this real estate bubble pops, there's so much money invested. Canada's a big country. It's got a big economy. It's not a Venezuela. The world will not absorb the Canadian economy popping and disappearing and having troubles like Venezuela without it actually affecting the entire world economy if the Canadian economy and the real estate bubble pops here in Canada. Now, here's the thing. If they raise interest rates, they're wondering if the Canadian dollar will continue to march upwards. Well, I am going to tell you, and this is the news you're going to get here first before anybody else, the Canadian dollar is going to profoundly go upwards in value. And the reason why is because of this real estate bubble popping and the timing of the real estate bubble popping. And this is what's going to pop it, is these interest rate hikes. Interest rate goes up. What's going to happen is housing sales will fall off, and they'll fall off a cliff actually, and then they'll start dropping prices, and then there will be a mad rush downwards. There will be no sales, and there's absolutely no buyers. And what will happen is when the real estate bubble bursts here in Canada, it's going to cause a deflationary cycle here in Canada. Whereas at the exact same time, the United States is going to be going through an inflationary cycle. So one, south of the border in the United States, they're going to be having an inflationary cycle. In Canada, they're going to be having a deflationary cycle. What's that going to do is it's going to make the dollars were going like this. All of a sudden, they're going to switch directions and they're going to go like this. This is a very profound situation, and there's never really been any precedent for it before, anything like it happening before. This is what I'm anticipating, and nobody else is seeing this. I'm starting to see the first signs of it, and I've been looking for this coming. And so, I mean, if an investor, now I'm not going to give financial advice, this is not financial advice, but if an investor were to buy into the Canadian dollar at this point right now, you remember I talked about buying into Litecoin when they were $3.80 about 4 months ago, and right now Litecoin is standing at $50. So you would have made 10 times your money. You know? Now, I'm not giving it financial advice. I didn't tell you to buy Litecoin. I just told you that I thought it was a good thing. It looked good. And right now, to me, the Canadian dollar looks good. You know, I mean, okay, I'm not giving you advice to buy it because we all know how tricky markets can be. Any number of black swan events can come along and they can actually change the outlook. And so you can't, a black swan by its very definition is something that can actually change the outlook. But right now, to me, this outlook for the Canadian dollar looks awfully good, especially if the real estate bubble here in Canada pops. That'll put it into deflation. It put the Canadian dollar into a deflationary cycle against the American dollar. And then what will happen is more investors will come in and start seeing what I'm talking about, and they'll start buying into the Canadian dollar, and that'll just increase the effect. So anyway, that's the show I want to talk about right now on the Canadian dollar, and what I see possibly down the road coming in this thing. So thank you very much for listening, like, and subscribe, and hey, we'll catch you in the next video. Bye.